XRP ETFs are going live. XRP is getting parked behind said ETFs, but I really want to break down the impact that we observed on Bitcoin and what we can expect going forward for XRP. So I'm going to title this update XRP ETF Impact. I'm going to show you how much XRP is getting locked up so far, where we're going to be tracking that, and then I want to make it very clear on what I am expecting to see for XRP in the next 12 months. So without further ado, let's get right on into the update. If you appreciate what we're doing, please help us out by supporting our cause, liking the content, sharing it out far and wide, and all of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. The timing of this couldn't be more perfect. October 10th liquidation event. We're still cleaning up our mess. XRP ETF goes live, Canary Capital with the first one, and we have a 30% pullback after that ETF goes live. We're zoomed in here on the XRP daily chart, and you can see we did start to climb back up here, back pushing towards $2.30. Absolutely love to see it. But this is a 30% XRP ETF sell the news pullback. We topped out on November 10th up at 258. We pull back 30% to $1.81. But if you zoom out further, you get the full context, which is higher lows being set from the April tariff announcement that took us down to $1.60 to the October 10th liquidation event, which took us down to $1.77. And then on November 21st last week, we finished off our correction all the way down to $1.81, which was still a higher low, still keeping our structure intact. Zooming in, I still have my fib levels pulled from the 220 low and the 269 high that we hit in October to see, and we did extend down right here, right, all the way down to the levels that we were watching. Now we started to recover back, and XRP back on the move. Absolutely love to see it. So, XRP ETF Impact, here we go. Franklin Templeton, Grayscale go live, and we're already starting to move back up. Now, what we're watching is how much XRP is going to be parked behind these ETFs. 3 of the 4 ETFs that are live now have about 10 XRP backing each share, and the Grayscale XRP ETF actually has about 19.4 XRP backing each share. So it's trading at a higher price than the other 3 ETFs. Interesting position. Interesting way to do it. As we've been saying, the suits will be selling it with slideshow presentations and wrapping it up in 589 different ways. But this is where we're tracking it. And in the description of this video, I'm actually going to post the links to all 4 of the spot ETFs, the websites, and the links so that you can track it yourself. You can see how much XRP is behind them, the price performance, etc. Starting off here, this is Canary Capital. My apologies. Let's get to the Canary Capital one right there. And they have not updated after today's trading. This is as of November 24, 2025, 146 million XRP. So we'll see how much XRP they are going to be adding after Monday's trading. We did see an update from Bitwise. We're looking at it right here. 67 million XRP. So they were at 59 million XRP heading into Monday. After Monday's trading, they have added about 8 million XRP, just shy. And so their total is now 67 million XRP backing the Bitwise XRP ETF. Now, the Franklin Templeton XRP ETF, XRPZ is the ticker, went live Monday, November 24th. And we currently do not have the holdings behind this fund yet, the XRP backing. The XRP in the fund, we do not have that data. It's currently not available. If I slide out and over, you can see that on the far right. And so we'll wait for Franklin to update. But for the time being, we do have an update for Grayscale, which is GXRP, and they are holding 6 million XRP to get started. And like I said, you can see XRP per share, 19.4. So that share price going to be trading a little bit higher than the other ETFs, which only have about 10 XRP behind them. But let's get right on into it, folks. So yesterday, I dropped a video breaking down the difference between OTC desks, private ledgers, and dark pools. I wish the video would have gotten more views. Maybe I should have put something more dramatic in the title, like XRP dark pools 1000, something crazy, right? But I wanted to just shoot it straight and really break down what these are and why these facilities exist and what they're used for, the impact that they have. And the main point that I was trying to get across in the video was that despite all of the Bitcoin back in the Bitcoin ETFs, or nearly all of the Bitcoin back in the Bitcoin ETFs, 95% plus was done OTC. All of that Bitcoin was acquired over the counter. And people are worried that OTC isn't going to impact the public markets, and so XRP is not going to pump. But why did Bitcoin pump if nearly all of the Bitcoin back in those ETFs was done OTC? That means that somebody somewhere was buying Bitcoin, and the inflows coming in were enough to push Bitcoin up. And so, like I said, if you haven't seen the video that I dropped, go watch it. I've seen a lot of confusion about private ledgers, dark pools, and OTC desks. So we break it down, explain the difference. And I also explain how despite nearly all of the Bitcoin ETFs acquiring Bitcoin OTC, Bitcoin still pumped 220% since launch. XRP ETF pump comes next. I put out another tweet to get my point across because people are still confused. People were commenting on the video saying, oh, I guess there's no point in holding XRP. I'm like, I said that price appreciation is coming. I explained that despite OTC, despite 24 billion of outflows from the centralized exchanges during that same time period, Bitcoin still appreciated by 220%. Nearly all of the Bitcoin acquired for the ETFs was done OTC, yet Bitcoin still pumped 220%. Impressive considering that there was 24 billion of outflows from centralized exchanges. Anyone saying that the same won't happen for XRP is ignoring the precedent set by Bitcoin, and it doesn't make any sense to me why you would. Why would you have watched what Bitcoin just did? With no utility, by the way. I'm not even accounting for the institutional adoption and the utility. See, I made a tweet today commenting how the Bitcoiners are crying about JP Morgan. Down with JP Morgan. Boycott JP Morgan. Meanwhile, Ripple is inviting and I was in the room listening to JP Morgan speak at the Ripple conference, a conference that was full of bankers. And I also noted how Ripple head of engineering put out a job posting. They're looking to hire more developers to onboard institutions. So while some folks in the crypto space are crying at the banks, Ripple's onboarding them. Quite the difference. And that speaks to the institutional utility that's coming for XRP, not accounting, that in this conversation about the impact from the XRP ETFs. So let me be very, very clear. Bitcoin was able to appreciate 220%. That's the historical precedent. That's the fact. That's a data point that we can all agree on, right? We can also agree that all of the Bitcoin, nearly all of it, was bought OTC to back those ETFs. We can also go look at the centralized exchanges. You can go do the tally up yourself. Go watch my multiplier update because we break down this data even further, apply it to XRP and run through 3 separate scenarios. It gets exciting just with conservative assumptions and simple math. But you can go tally it up, the 24 billion of outflows on centralized exchanges. That's not people moving Bitcoin to cold storage. That's people moving Bitcoin to US dollars or Tether or another currency. That's outflows from Bitcoin. 24 billion. And so had it not been for the 62 billion of inflows through ETFs, and when the buying pressure and the inflows were coming, it was enough to push Bitcoin up, obviously, to 126,000. If it wasn't for those ETFs and those inflows, Bitcoin would not have reached 100,000. It probably wouldn't have even set a new all-time high this cycle. The ETFs save Bitcoin. Now, the ETFs alone aren't what we're waiting for XRP. The ETFs are just supplementary to what we already got going with institutional adoption for XRP that will expand after the Clarity Act finally gets passed. So I just wanted to be very clear with my expectations and the impact that I expect these XRP ETFs to have. If I haven't made myself clear by now, the price of XRP I am looking to appreciate by at least 200 to 300% in very short order. And the scenarios that I've run through show how XRP can appreciate well into double-digit territory by next year, within 12 months. Remember, Bitcoin saw 62 billion of inflows in 1 year, 9 months, from January 24 to October 25. And so give us a year, give us 12 months, give us 2 years, you're going to see a movement. How big is that going to be? Well, hopefully you're locked in. Hopefully you got your bags packed, and we're going to go for the ride, baby. It's going to be a good time. Now, if you're looking to acquire some more XRP within a retirement account, we got to plug in our sponsor real quick, iTrust Capital. They have us completely covered here. Buy and sell crypto, gold and silver as well too, within your IRA. And they also have the new product, which is the premium custody account, non-IRA institutional custody account, where you can buy and sell crypto 24/7, low cost, no monthly fees. That's a big one. No AUM fees. It's absolutely free to take advantage of their institutional grade custody. And when it does come time to trade, it's a low 1% transaction fee. Now, if you already have an existing IRA, or say you have a retirement account of 401k, TSP, 403b, 457, or others, talk with iTrust Capital about being able to roll that over. Let's get you tapped in. This is why I was so excited to add them as a community resource, is because I wanted folks to know there was an option today. You don't have to go buy an ETF, although we love our ETFs, although we love the impact that they're going to have. We wanted folks to know that the option is available today through iTrust Capital, and their service is top notch. Absolutely US-based customer support, and we've had nothing but great feedback from the community. So they're linked up down below as well. Check out that. I have the links for the ETFs as well. It's all down in the description of the video, and the rest of our community resources are at zachrector.com. Thank you for supporting the cause by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide, and we'll see you guys in the next one. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.